We all know the pain of getting stuck in traffic. So do traffic management officials who are always trying to keep things moving smoothly. This comes as no surprise to those of us who drive in Denver. But according to CDOT, one of the most trafficked areas in the region is Colorado Boulevard. That tracks. Denver 7 Danielle Kreuter took drivers' concerns to the agency to learn more about the solutions they're working on.
The only thing worse than the drive into work itself is when it takes even longer than you thought. Highways and main streets all seem packed with other drivers.
When I first got my driver's license, I took Colorado Boulevard to one of my first jobs. It was at this restaurant. Since then, we have all seen traffic here increase, and really commutes all across the metro have become more and more congested. So we wanted to know what is being done to keep us all moving.
It's definitely busy.
What I get the most frustrated with is all of the stops. Stop and go. Stop and go.
So let's start with a look at Colorado Boulevard. I found some fellow locals and asked what they noticed about it over the years.
It's a lot busier, the congestion on it.
And the congestion is constant.
But even if you've lived here for just a few years, like Michaela Centeno, you notice.
If there's not an accident, there's a lot of traffic going on, and definitely crazy.
Does CDOT either actively seek out or collect feedback when it comes to traffic congestion?
We absolutely do.
This is Tamara Rollison, spokesperson for the Colorado Department of Transportation.
It's one of the most congested, as you probably know, and it's one of the most trafficked areas in the region.
What are some of the solutions that CDOT is considering when it comes to traffic congestion on Colorado Boulevard?
What we're considering is building what's called a bus rapid transit system, and we refer to that as BRT, on a stretch of Colorado Boulevard.
So far, CDOT has touched base with more than 68,000 stakeholders. This is ahead of their first big public input meeting next month, where they'll reveal some top options.
One of the options, for example, could be we could have a side-running BRT system. That means the outer lane, and both lanes in each direction of Colorado Boulevard, that lane would be dedicated to BRT.
If people are seeing these plans thinking, oh, well, now there will be a bus lane where there used to be a traffic lane, that'll make traffic worse. Would that be the case?
The benefit to the motorists in the travel lanes is that the bus is now out of their way and traffic is out of the way of the bus. So that is going to improve traffic flow a great deal.
Now, if this all sounds familiar, it's because right off of Colorado Boulevard, it is hard not to notice the progress being made on the BRT they're putting in on Colfax.
The city of Denver is in charge of this project, and plenty of businesses along Colfax have raised concerns about the construction.
We don't want to lose them during this time of change and, improvement. We really want them to stick around.
CDOT says they're still seeking ideas for their proposed BRT projects on Colorado Boulevard and Federal.
It's a long and thoughtful process that we go through in working with the community.
You saw a project like a BRT requires a lot of construction. So many traffic projects do. We're heading to Lone Tree right now, where they found a fix for their local traffic headaches that didn't require any orange cones.
It is certainly a much cheaper alternative, right, than widening lanes or doing major work at intersections.
Justin Schmitz, the Director of Public Works and Mobility for Lone Tree, met with us to talk about their adaptive traffic light system.
What is an adaptive light system?
What it does, it gets a 360 view of the intersection, and it can tell which traffic is coming from each direction, and then it can start to adjust.
When there's more traffic than usual, the lights automatically switch, staying green for longer to move all of those drivers through.
And the cameras, for example, can see many intersections ahead of what's coming and start to adjust those signals for that.
As soon as traffic thins out, the signals automatically adjust again. Right now, there are 44 signals around the city, and they're hoping to put in 6 more.
Technology, right, with the existing infrastructure that we have in place, it's allowing us to push a lot more traffic through these signals and through these communities.
Different communities will have different possible solutions for their unique traffic issues.
Can't imagine how you would fix something like that.
And Denver 7 will be there tracking changes and sharing your voice as those plans impact how you hit the road. I'm Danielle Kreuter, Denver 7.